Anytime Knox County plays Scotland County, it's a great game. Whether we're playing football, basketball, matchup in baseball, or at a track meet, it's always just great competition. That's what we're most excited about. Going into an atmosphere where it's their homecoming. It's two of the better teams in the conference. Just competing against each other for fighting for really the second spot in the conference. Also for a traveling trophy, the Clyde Trophy, that's historically been dominated by Scotland in recent history. We've had the last couple of times, but we know going into that game that we are going to have to compete really hard because they have a great team.
If you take Halton out of the equation, take Buford out of the equation, let's just say they even each other out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's gonna win it for you guys? If they're both even, somebody's gonna have to step it up for you. You have the horses to do that?
Yeah, our offense and defense lines are really going to have to play better. We've continued to improve all this entire year, really. We started out pretty low, and each and every week we've continued to improve and improve. And we have some youth there, but that youth is starting to get a lot of experience. And they're starting to play better. Corey Mowbray's kind of been one that has been a leader for us at our right guard, and also Logan Miller. He was out 2 weeks, and we didn't get to play him very much when he did come back, but he's starting to play a lot faster. So our offensive line with those two leaders, and then the younger guys starting to really win the line of scrimmage is going to be a big test for us.
Your running game was phenomenal last week, but now that everybody's back, you are in that offensive mode that you thought you would maybe be in, now that you have everybody healthy. Talk to me about that. There's just a lot of pieces there.
We don't throw the ball very much. We're balanced in the sense that we're able to attack all parts of the field at any time by running the ball. We can run inside, we can run outside. We got a pretty good counter game, and that's really how we try to attack defenses. We can throw. Hayden Miller is a very capable quarterback throwing the ball. It's just been a situation where we liked our matchups with our run game. And going into this week, I think a facet of our game that we are going to have to prove on is our passing game, and we've been working on it pretty hard the last several weeks, so hopefully that's one part of the game that also improves.
The key to that outside run, though, and you use that like a pass, but the key is that are those guys in the line to give them that hole.
Yeah, the offensive line, like we talked about earlier, being really important. Also, Zeke Schiefendecker, he's our spread in. He probably has the not very glamorous job of blocking a lot of our outside plays, and he's probably, I'd say, one of the best blockers we do have, number 12. He is a guy that's not talked about very often, but the things he does go not talked about, not mentioned, but are very important in any of our long runs. He gets downfield. He probably has as many pancakes as anybody else on our team in blocking. So it's one of those guys that's definitely going to have a good game for us.
People are looking at this maybe as it could be 50-47, whoever team has the ball last. It also could be 17-16. You both have good defenses.
Yeah, Scotland County has one of the best defenses we've seen this year. I think they returned 18 or 19 starters from last year. An all-state guy returning on their defense. So we're going to have our hands full trying to attack them offensively. And saying that, we do have a lot of skill guys. We have a lot of talent. We just have to make sure that we take care of the football and do the little things right.
What about your defense? So, I was looking at defense.
Mm-hmm.
What about your defense? Talk to me how it's improved, and you're going to have to stop Buford and the boys, basically Buford.
Defensively, we have a lot of athletes. We get a lot of hats to the football, and when we get there, we try to be very violent. Buford and all those guys, Slaughter and Day, and all their running backs, and their big line, and with Orton, they're going to give us some tough matchups defensively, just for the fact that they are fast, they are physical, kind of what we hang our hat on also. So we're going to have to go out there defensively and continue to attack. That's Coach Summers' kind of his MO on defense is be the aggressor, not kind of sit on our heels. And we've really improved the last several weeks in doing that, but it's going to continue to just focus on the fundamentals, really, and being aggressive, but also tackling and getting a lot of hats to the football, because Buford, we've seen him on film break 3-4 tackles in one play, and we don't want that to happen to us.
You work all summer, you work all fall, you work up to this point to play in a big game that's meaningful. This is why you're coaching, this is why your players are playing.
Yeah, this is why we work so hard. All the workouts and all the time spent on trying to get better, even though we started a little bit slower than we'd like to this year. Really, it's paying dividends right now, and we're excited about the matchup. And really, high school football, this is what it's all about. You just dream of having an opportunity to play against a rival and playing in a big game that means a lot, whether it be in conference, but also in district seedings. And we're going to be in an atmosphere that can't be matched by very many schools in this area, playing at Memphis with the Clyde Trophy on the line.
First 3-4 minutes of the game, nerves are going to be high. Both teams are going to be sky high. They're both going to be, you're going to give a great locker room speech, and, it's going to be, your guys are going to be ready to go. Isn't the key in that first 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to have to go from this to really calm and just play football and, level it out real quick, huh?
Yeah, football's an emotional game, and that's why it's so great. It was on Monday Night Football last night, Steve Young was talking about how it's unnatural for big bodies just to run into each other as fast as they can, and it is. You have to be an emotional guy to be able to go out there and continue to compete in a physical way, and we're going to have to go out there with emotions. But you can't get too high, and you can't try to do other people's jobs. I think a lot of times at the beginning of games, when you do have all that energy and all that anxiety coming out at once, you try to do too much. So really what we focus on, what we've been preaching this entire year, is to take care of our responsibilities, whether it be defense, flying to the football, or offensively, getting to the second level blocking. It's all about doing the little things right.
One thing you will probably have to do against them to be successful offensively.
Offensively, we've got to try to block their front. They're very aggressive. Coach Carper, their defensive coordinator, does an outstanding job of taking away what you're good at. And I'm assuming they're going to try to take away our outside run game that's been so successful for us. So it's not like we're not going to do that, but we're going to have to be able to execute maybe in a different way, or maybe something else will open up. But we've got to take what they give us, and we got to try to compete really hard.
One last question. One thing defensively that you will have to do.
Defensively, we just have to try to ball up all their playmakers. People talk about Aaron Buford, and he's an outstanding player, probably one of the best in our conference. But they have Ryan Slaughter, Austin Day, a lot of backs, and a lot of good receivers that have burned us in the past. ENC had over 150 yards receiving on us his freshman year. So there's a lot of weapons, there's a lot of history there that had success against us. So we're going to really have to kind of bow our necks up, try to play our best game so far this year.